But it is truly amazing, sir. After 32 years, that great journalist or insider his name was known, sir. His name was William Mark Phelps. After full 32 years, he was the deep throat and the whistleblower who led to the exposure of the Watergate. Sir, now, world over it is being recognized. It is important. Sir, I was just going to a literature, sir. In America, the fraud of public and private companies are pursued very strongly. And I was learned to my amazement that America has so many regulators, yet nearly 1/5 of the fraud is exposed by whistleblowers from inside who keep on fighting. This movement has been recognized world over, sir. And thereafter, we have got in USA the Whistleblower Protection Act 1989. Now there is a 2010 Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Consumer Protection Act. There is a provision for reward to inform for reporting fraud to the Security Exchange Commission. In UK, sir, we have a Public Service Disclosure Act in the private sector. And sir, when I was doing my research for this debate, to my utter amazement, sir, I found that there are smaller countries like Romania, like South Africa, like Uganda, Canada, all have some form of the whistleblowers. New Zealand, Australia. So the very esteemed minister, why he took so long to bring this bill, I think it would have been a matter of some priority. And sir, one thing I would say with profound respect to the Honourable Minister, who is a good friend of mine, on a matter of moment like this, allow the House to have a proper debate. I have no grievance, it is a right to bring in a bill and get it passed. But the manner in which it was passed in the other House, I am not making any comment, leaves much to be desired. Because this bill we are passing today, not for your government or my government. This bill we are passing today for India, for the strengthening of India. Therefore, all the people, all the honourable members present here need to share their views so that all the shortcomings may be taken care of, and if need there, it should be addressed. Sir, I was going to the 2009 report of Transparency International, sir. India's position is 89. What is the contemporary position? I would like to be enlightened by you, Honourable Minister. I am sure post 2009, in the light of what India has experienced, the number would have gone down. 109. Thank you, Tapan Babu. Therefore, our position has gone again much down. I think it is very important that we must understand that a corrupt government, a corrupt governance saps the morale of the people. I am not making a partisan statement today. I know India is a fine country. Sir, I am a chronic optimist. I have not the slightest doubt that India in our lifetime will become one of the biggest powers of the world. Not only economic, not only military, but also spiritual. That is my confirmed belief. And when I see this great promise of the young people who have an idea of a great India, and the kind of pessimism which creeps in because of simmering corruption, I see how do we respond. That is indeed very important. And therefore, if today we are seeking to give some kind of statutory cover to a whistleblower, it is a step in the right direction for strengthening of the accountability process of India. Sir, I was just going to the Satyam Computer great scam. I was trying to know how this huge scam of 7,000 crore plus, at that point in time it might have gone 10,000 crore plus, was unearthed. And I learned to my great dismay and also assurance that it was an insider job. His name I have, sir, I will not like to disclose so that it may not come here any problem for him, because I have some questions to ask about the private sector when I come to the specifics of the provision. Sir, we have the 179th Law Commission report, which insisted for a public interest disclosure bill. We had the second Administrative Reform Commission 9th report, Ethics in Governance, and you talked about the Standing Committee report. I have to ask certain questions. I'll come separately about that. But let me go to certain very fundamental issues. An Honorable Minister, I have tried to find the answer. Correct me if I am wrong. Does this bill apply to a public disclosure in the private sector, or does it not? I want a very categorical answer. I see section 19. Then there is a provision for punishment to executives of private companies. But when I see section 4, as far as the obligation to disclosure is concerned, then I don't see this being there, private sector being there. Because there is a case of registered cooperative society, there is a case of a government company, there is a case of minister, departments, MPs, MLAs, all these are there. University, vice chancellors. But does a non-government public or private company come within the ambit of disclosure is a little ambiguous. I would like to have a clarity of that. The second is, the CVC is the competent authority. Sir, I have the highest regard, Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, for the office of the Chief Vigilance Commissioner. But what is the authority of the CVC? At best, it is recommendatory. What happened to Mr. Thomas, we all know. What kind of comment Supreme Court had to offer, we need not go into that, that is past is history. But when you discuss a bill of such seminal importance, you cannot completely ignore as to what has happened in the past. Now the authority of CVC is indeed very important. The CVC should not be merely a recommendatory body. What kind of rights we have given additionally to the CVC, apart from giving direction in the case a particular whistleblower is being victimized? Why it is important is, who is the competent authority before whom complaint can be filed in the event corruption is there in a private sector? Honorable Minister, this issue is indeed very important, that today private sector is playing a very crucial role in the economic development of India. We welcome that. We have the PPP, private partnership model. We have other models. Now, if in the award of contract, if in the award of any particular tender, if in the award of any particular work, there has been a lot of corruption in the meaning of Prevention of Corruption Act, there has been a lot of willful, I would say, demeanor or willful kind of action which led to a loss to the government as enshrined in the Prevention of Corruption Act, section 13. What is the remedy available to a whistleblower under the present act? This clarity has to be there. Sir, now we are believing in open government. Yes, there is a conventional view that RTI is creating problem in administration, whistleblower will create problem in administration, Lokpal will create problem in administration. It may have a logic, but I don't believe it. Because the growth of the country has seen that with the activism of judiciary through the instrument of public interest litigation, when governmental decision will become subject to frequent challenges before the court, the growth did not stop. The biggest period of judicial intervention in governmental decision, as a lawyer, Mr. Narayan Swamiji, you will kindly recall, is post 89-88. And if you see the growth chart of India, maybe coalition government, the biggest growth chart began post 1991 as well. Therefore, to say that these kinds of intervention in the form of PIL, in the form of RTI, in the form of Lokpal, in the form of whistleblower would impede growth is, I would say, not a correct way of looking about it. Maybe your discretion will be circumscribed. Maybe your reckless abuse of power would be controlled. If that is controlled, that is good for India. And the second thing I feel, if things get established, some of our political friends say, "Sab hum log ka adhikar khatam ho raha hai." I hear that, and I can see that legitimately. Why should we grudge that? We know that there is pressure on us. We can say, sorry, ye kaam nahi ho sakta. The law is a bar to that. And once the people will come to know about it, I would certainly expect it is going to be a further maturing of India's democracy, that the people will know what work we can get, the people will know what work we cannot get. Therefore, all these processes I see as a part of augmentation of our democratic process. That is indeed very important. Therefore, Honorable Minister, this private sector is a very important issue which I would like to know from you, because we have a whole range of corruption in many of the private sector, not only in their dealings between companies per se, but also in between the dealings between them and the government. You must have seen in the whole 2G coal block allocation, there were private sector interacting with the government. There were people beneficiary of hurried license given in a manner buried by the Supreme Court. But ultimately we saw as to how they make quick money. Tapan Babu, I am opposed to Marxism. But at least one phrase I have learned to admire, crony capitalism. And what India witnessed was crony capitalism. We all are supportive of our enterprise, of our people, of companies, of private sector, of entrepreneurs. But those who want to toil and rise in the country through fair means should not be put behind by means foul to the instrument of crony capitalism. That is the real irony of India, and that is the real agony of India. And I would believe, so we can agree on some issue, no problem. Therefore, these instruments of RTI or the whistleblower or the Lokpal or the Amendment Prevention of Corruption Act are instruments which in that way strengthen the whole process. Certain specific questions more on the law itself. You have section 4, you have section 8. Now, I only trust you are coming with some amendment, because in section 4, anything can be disclosed. We are all for a very strong whistleblower bill, act. We don't want it to be diluted. But I must caution, Honorable Minister, it should not become an instrument of plaything against India's strategic interest in the hands of those who want to weaken it. Therefore, if under our Constitution 19.2 there is a provision of security of India, integrity of India, there is need to bring it here. Maybe, I'm grateful, this incitement to violence, if some wants to have some information with a view to incite people to violence, commit communal carnage, those are issues needs to be addressed.